What is up? A few months ago, I stopped working part-time at Target to move to my new job. Hold on, these dumplings are staring at me and I just gotta eat them. I just made them. I put on this red shirt today and I was like, I used to wear this all the time at Target, so I thought I'd share with you what that job was like and the process of applying, what the job was like, and what the people were like, and what the people there were like. There we go. The first thing in applying, in getting into a Target job is of course that you have to apply for it, like any job. Target's application, I think it's in person. There are some in-person ones at Target itself, and a lot of Target stores will have a kiosk where you can apply for the job basically on a computer. Some might even have like the paper application. And yeah, you fill that out. I think you need references, or maybe that depends on what job you're going for, because there's a lot of different kinds of roles over there. But you fill out the application online and then you submit that in. And if that is successful, they will send you a survey, normally like right after that. It asks you like what you would do in certain situations, and you kind of have to, it's a multiple choice thing, and you get through that, you will get a call for an interview. And for me, I got that call within the week of submitting my application and that survey. Again, different Target stores might be different based on how urgently they need people to work, so don't stress out if you don't get the call, but follow up if you don't. The interview itself is it's just like a conversation. It's sort of a more formal conversation though, I would say. At least the attitude of my interviewer was like that. He asked me why Target, and then we talked about availability. It's really a time to hone in the amount of hours and when you want to work that week, because you would have indicated that on your application, but sometimes they don't even look at that part, and sometimes they don't even look at the first part of the application. But that is really when you want to finalize when you're available to work and for how long throughout the week and on what days. And you would be interviewing with someone that's like in charge of your department that you're applying for. So you really want to get to know, be comfortable with talking to them, and because sometimes you're gonna have to track them down if there's something like that comes up in your schedule and you can't work. You're gonna have to be able to be like comfortable talking to them and saying, hey, so there's this thing happen, and of course let them know as soon as you can, as soon as possible, so that they can plan ahead, because that person that you're interviewing with is normally somewhat responsible for your schedule. What it's like working in Target, as in like the place, is well, we're gonna talk about the place first, and then like the people and the workers there and the guests, at least what it was like in my experience anyway. So right after my interview, if you pass that, you go into training. They set you up for an orientation where they go over like the safety, like how to work safely and what is acceptable and not acceptable at Target. So you go through that training through videos in an orientation, and then training itself happens, for me it happened the same week of orientation, just a few days later. And the first part of orientation was reading some things on a computer and taking like multiple choice exams on those things. And they were things like chemicals, like how to deal with how to distinguish chemicals, and also I remember I had to read one about operating vehicles, even though I wasn't actually operating any vehicles. They just wanted me to know about them. And finally, training itself, like the actual, like what you're gonna do training, I was put with a really nice worker. Her name's Isabella, and if she's still there, Isabella, thank you for training me. You were super nice, and I felt super comfortable. And I mean, I may not have gotten everything on the first day, but like with practice, I got the hang of it. I was a Hardlines worker, meaning I had to I was responsible basically for a lot of things that were on the hard floor of Target. So nothing that was on the carpeted floor of Target, which is called soft lines, and that's normally like clothes. I was responsible for everything else as a Hardlines worker. You help guests find items. Well, that's not your primary job, but like you take what has been prepared in the back from shipments, and you bring them out to the, I don't know how to describe it. You bring them out to the front, or you take what guests have been like, oh, actually I don't want this anymore, or what they have returned at guest services, and you put them back where they all belong. Wow, I can talk. Yeah, normally I begin every shift taking what was in the back of guest services and like organizing where those all went, and that would take me a couple hours. Yeah, when you start out, you're really slow because you're still getting to know where everything is, but as time goes on, you become faster. And in between all of that, a lot of guests will come up to you with questions, and so you have to help them and show them where things are, as well as pull items from the back for them if they don't see them on the floor. But that was essentially all of my job. And sometimes I would cashier, and so I would just bring people up with the cashiers. So right after orientation, you get trained. And for Hardlines, and for me, I trained with Isabella, who's super nice. And anyway, she taught me how to spider wrap things. And if you guys don't know what a spider wrap is, this is what it looks like. She also taught me like how to put stuff back, because there is definitely a strategy in that you want to take things that will be, they're already organized per area, but you want to take things that would be like on the same shelves together as you're putting stuff back from that cart. That was basically all she taught me, and that took about 2 days. And then I was trained on cashiers with my coworker Peggy and my coworker Bob, and they were super nice. I liked cashiering after a while. At first, I did not like it at all because I had never worked on a cash register before, and I thought, oh my gosh, money, like this is like super serious. If I mess up, then it's like super bad. Because it's what people earn. If you worked cash registers before, you probably know the first time you ever had to seriously work a cash register. It's really jump and swim that makes you good at it. My first day, someone came with about like hundreds worth of bathroom products and a ton of coupons that his mother had clipped for him, and I was just like I was just like, wow, okay, I scanned everything. And then I didn't know how to do the coupons yet, so I was just like struggling. Luckily he had worked at Walmart before, and he had worked cash register, so he was like, oh, actually you guys press this button and this button. So that was really helpful. I really appreciate guests like that. When guests help out workers, it's just like, it's really nice. And actually I guess was a little upset a few guests behind him because he had so many items. But with a lot of retail related situations, when you get guests that are upset, you have to remember that it's really not your fault. So that was what work was like. The people there, as in like the other workers at Target, they were pretty nice on the job. I don't know. It was really weird because I thought I was clicking with some of the coworkers. So in the beginning, you start making friends at work, and you ask, and you say, oh, we should totally do this together, or we should totally see this movie, stuff like outside of work. And that happened with one of my coworkers. That was a lot of fun. Sort of the same thing happened with other coworkers, like, later in my career at Target. And it was really funny because even though before they all said sort of like, oh yeah, that sounds like fun, they all said no in the end, or didn't even get back to me in the end, which at the same time, which was just like, And one of them actually told me because their manager found out, and they said that they couldn't hang out with me because I had asked people that were sort of more senior than I was. But I was just like, I read the guidelines though before starting work, once I had gotten accepted, and it said that you couldn't have any like relationships with people that were more senior than you, but I just wanted to be friends with them. Maybe relationship meant friendship as well. But anyway, so some of those did not work out. And that was a huge lesson for me because my past jobs were in college and in Malaysia. And in Malaysia and in college, it's totally fine to go out with your coworkers. Like totally fine. At least in the places that I was working. It's really hard to explain that. But I was not chasing anybody in Target because I knew I was leaving. But like it was just really weird. To a lot of people that work at Target, this is just their job. Like they have school and they have families, but so I guess they just don't have time for making friends at work. That was just my experience. And overall, Target's a great job. It's a great working at Target is a lot of jobs there are good first jobs. It's a great introduction to retail if you want to know how a store runs, and especially a store of a company that big runs. Everyone has its different role. It's sort of like being part of a big machine. Yeah, overall it was a good learning experience for me. It's definitely helped me in my job now in terms of understanding things and people. Every single job I have though, I learned something new about people. But yeah, that is my experience at Target. And I'm not sure if I would go back to it, but I did learn some things from it. So there you go. To whoever is applying, good luck out there. Remember, if you don't get it, this is not the only store in the world. Just keep trying. Alright, with that, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. I will have a new video up as soon as I can possibly put up one because I have all these ideas and I really want to get them out soon. Alright, bye! I can't wait to cut out the footage of me eating. Sorry, I shook you guys again.